Hello, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com. I am playing Cities in Motion 2. Right now what you are looking at is the underground subway system, and you can see that all of my trains are backed up. All those green rectangles are trains that are backed up somewhere. So somewhere we have a breakdown in the system that needs to be fixed, and it's all in the northern part of the map. So what I need to do is find the areas that could have a blockage, and it's going to be easy to figure out. I know how to fix these things. For example, if you look over here at these trains, you'll notice that one of the trains, which is this one here, number 58, let's pick it up. It's on Metro Line 2. This train wants to go forward, but it can't go forward because another train is blocking it. So there you can clearly see that the train is being blocked. So I'm going to fix this. It's very easy to fix. And there's going to be a few different places where I'm going to have to fix this. Basically, the way you fix it is that you build a bypass, a single lane track that goes underneath. It's going to go underneath the other train, or it could go over it, depending on the depth. So right there, it's going to go underneath, and it's going to connect back to the main line. Over here like this. That's basically all you have to do. Okay, I'm sorry, that's not basically all you have to do, but that's the basic concept. The other thing, what you could do is set a waypoint, but I don't want to do it using waypoints. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another line, and I'm going to come from here and connect to here. Okay, there's the connection. So now what's going to happen is whatever train used that line is automatically going to go underneath. They were all sent back to the station. And because they were all sent back to the station, we're going to have to wait for them to come out on the track before we see them use the underpass that I created. But that underpass is going to cure the problem. You do have to make sure all the connections are made. And the reason why, even if you get a backup on the underpass, the surface train will still be able to continue on its way. If there were a blockage also, there would be a message that would say that the train can't find the next station. Okay, so this is the line right here. Metro Line 5, and I'm going to turn that on. It takes a time to compute the new path, which it hasn't done yet, but it is going to work. It's definitely going to work. Okay, so the next thing to do is to figure out if there is another blockage somewhere, and I'm pretty sure that there is. This is another area where I could also have a blockage. And the reason why is because we have the same situation where you have trains that have to cross over the track. There's a train waiting, which is that red stripe over there, from line number 2. And as you can see right now, he's blocking train number 4. Because he does that when he goes in the station. So I'm going to make another underpass over here to allow those trains to get to that station without blocking anyone. It's going to start from here. It's going to go down to a depth of 16. It's going to come back up to 8, pivot around, and connect. I know it's a sharp little turn, but it is going to work. And then I'm going to take the existing line and delete it and rebuild it from here to here. I'm wondering what this thing is on the surface, this big mob over here. It looks like a giant mob of people that fell into the underground. Okay, so now that route has been changed, which is Metro Line 2, now has a new route. And it's going to take a while before it computes it and updates it. But what it's going to do is it's going to take the new underpass that I created on the way to the station. And the trains that are returning will take the same. The trains that are returning will take the same route, only a single lane instead of a double lane. Okay, so now the next question is, there's people wandering all over the place, which is really weird. It looks like they're walking on the train tracks or something. Okay, so there's going to be other places where I have to make these underpasses. And I am going to seek them out. Okay, it looks like we have an issue here on the surface with buses and trams. Okay, this is just a minor thing. This is a little bug in the system. We've got way too many people over here that are trying to cross the street, and they seem to be stuck over here. And because they're stuck over here, the trams aren't running. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to tram line 1, and I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to click that button to turn it red. And then I'm going to go to tram line 2 and click that green sphere and turn it red. So it looks as though the tram was blocking the pedestrians. And it's really weird, but, you know, that's a huge crowd of people over there. Massive crowd. So I'm guessing that the buses are going to start running again. Yeah, the buses are going to be fine. So that's how they get backed up. Let's check to see how the trains are doing. As far as I know, it's running smoothly. It looks like there's a backed up line over here. This train looks like it's not leaving the station for some reason. Train line 3. The reason why it's backed up is because I probably changed its route, and it needs time to try to figure out what the new route is going to be. But it does show me another location where I need to build an underpass for for line number 2. So what's going to happen is line number 3 will begin moving again once it figures out what the route is. And I think there's a way to do it. If you pretend to add a stop, I think it will recompute the route. Unfortunately, I can't pretend to add a stop because all the stops are already added. What I can do is turn the line off, make it inactive, turn it back on. If you look at the mini-map, you can see that the mini-map shows a complete route. And I will keep an eye on that to make sure that they are all running. I'll periodically check it. Everything else looks okay so far. Yeah, those are all running okay. Okay, so back to the surface. Let's see how things are going. I am going to... wow, he's got a lot of service, this particular building. This video is going to be about coverage gaps. Or perhaps another video will be about coverage gaps. You know what? I should fix the rest of the underpasses, since that's how I started. Basically, you're going to have to follow the train system and look for places where the train has to cross over. Here's an example of where the train has to do a crossover. Right over here in that intersection. So you take a single line train like this, you build it down. I'm going to have to go 16 meters. I cross underneath the rail and reconnect. Make sure that the connection is valid. It looks good on that side. And then change this to be only one lane, which means connecting this to here. And now I have the cross under, the underpass. So this has become a one-lane road with this intersection connecting into here, and then we've got this underpass here, which goes under this road, which prevents a traffic jam. And that connection looks good. You can see this one was already built, but it looks like the trains are halted for some reason. The station right now is going to have a lot of trains inside of it. It's going to be full. So the trains are going to have to wait a while before they can pull into the station. But it allows us to find other places where the trains are going to be blocking traffic. Here's another location where you run into the possibility. We've got the train tracks that cross over, which is right here. That can cause a traffic jam. This is another location right here. You could have a traffic jam on this piece of track right here, but it's unlikely to happen because the stops are very far apart. And when the stops are very far apart, it's extremely unlikely to happen. Over here, we should probably put in a crossover. Very easy to do. You take a single lane and you build off of here or anywhere, and you go down below, cross over, and then reconnect like so. But if you want the train to be guaranteed to take the new route, you have to remove the old route. So I'm going to connect that to here, and now we have an underpass, and this is the old route going back in the other direction. And the trains that take this route, maybe it's train line 2, they're going to be a little confused for a moment. Oh, he found it. So he found it immediately. He's very smart. Okay, so that's going to help reduce some of the congestion. Over here, I'm going to have some crossover issues also. But Where is the train? I know it's going to be in... Okay, here's the train. And this is where the track splits. So this is one of the intersections that could be a problem right here. And we want the train to come from this segment. It would go down to here, would go below here, and reconnect to here. That's minus 16. Should be enough. It's possible that there's another road that is creating a problem. Yeah, okay. So I've got a connection here, and it crosses under. This connection looks good. This connection looks good. I'm going to remove this piece, and I'm going to reconnect from here to here. This connection looks good. This connection looks good. So there's another problem solved. Here's another one that does not have a cross under, and this one would be built the same exact way. You're going to take this road, go underneath and back up. It's going to be more difficult to make a connection, not impossible, just more difficult because the distance is a lot shorter. Okay, so there's a connection. That looks good. This one is difficult to see. It looks good. Okay, so I am going to put this back as a single lane and check the intersection. That looks good. It splits off properly. This joins back properly. It's now single lane here, problem solved. And that's how you do it. There's more that I have to fix on the other side, or perhaps down here below. Let's see if we can find it. Here is going to be another one. This one's going to be a lot more complicated. As you can see, these trains are blocking traffic. They block this intersection here. The number 5 train is not, but the number 3 train does. So it's something that definitely needs to be fixed. However, we have another intersection here, which is really going to complicate things. So I will build a underpass, or shall I say an underpass. Like that. And remove this piece. And then I'm going to build a single line from here to here. So that solves part of the problem, but not the entire problem. Because we still have this intersection still exists. We still have trains that are going to need to cross this intersection that can still be blocked by the number 2 train, the number 2 line. So I would take this line that I just created, make an extension that continues to go under here, and connects to there. So that looks good. This intersection splits properly. This one joins together, which means I can take this segment and delete it and join this to here. That looks good. This one looks funny. There's something wrong with this intersection. Okay, so we've got a single lane and a single lane joining together. The return track can be deleted, so I'm going to delete this and join this to here. And this intersection now looks good. It joins together. This one looks good. And there's no more crossover. And by crossover, what I mean is there's a merge on the right track. The right tracks merge together. The left track does not cross over the right track. So it's safe. Over here, they don't interact. They just run parallel together. Okay, let's check on the other side. Oh, this is going to be complicated. Okay, this one has an underpass with a 3-way split. This one looks like it has no underpass. So what you're going to see here is the right track goes north, but it also crosses over the left track. If you can see the mouse pointer, okay, the train just crossed over the left track. You can see that the mouse pointer is centered on where the crossover is, and we want to remove, we don't want this line to go in that direction and cross over the left track. So I'm going to build an underpass over here, which will also be a single lane. Like so. Check that intersection. It looks good. That intersection looks good. And then we're going to remove this line because we don't want people using the old way. And we will reconnect. Oops, I had it there. And then we reconnect and we check this intersection. It looks good. We've got 2 lines coming together to be parallel, and over here the left track merges, which is what we want. Oops, don't want to do that. So I'm going to restore this. I hope I didn't do any permanent damage. It looks good. So now when you look at this intersection, it used to be that the right track crossed over the left track, but now the left track merges and the right track just goes straight. And over here, the left track goes straight, but the right track splits. And I hope I caught all of them. It's possible that I missed one of the remaining. Okay, it looks like there's another one over here. This is another one where we've got a little crossover. And it's going to be a little bit more difficult to fix this one because this bridge is over the surface of the water. So it's really close to that road, and they're probably at the same level. Oh no, they're not. So possibly I'll be able to fix it. I would have to take this road here, go down like so. It does make the connection. I'm not concerned with how pretty it looks. It doesn't have to look pretty. This intersection looks good. It makes a connection, it merges, and over here it splits. That's fine. I'm going to remove this and turn it into a one-way road. So it will start from perhaps here and connect to there. This intersection looks good. The left goes straight and the right splits, and over here they both come together to be parallel. And over here they merge on the left and the right goes straight. So the routes are, I think I got all of them. It is possible that I missed one. Okay, so I'm going to make the assumption that all of them are fixed now. It might be possible that there's one more. No, I guess not. Okay, so that's how you do it. And it works for monorails. It works for metro tracks. Probably only those two. I'm going to show you a monorail example, which is over here. With this monorail, you could have the same exact problem can occur. Let's turn on all the monorail tracks. Right over here, there's a crossover. This line that's highlighted, you can see that it has to cross over itself. This one does not cross over. This one does. This is the absolute best way to demonstrate it. This one is fine. This one is not. So in order to fix it, I'm going to have to build an overpass. So you go to the monorail, you take the single monorail segment, and it crosses over at this intersection also. So you take this and you go over. No one uses this upper segment over here. It's completely unused. I wish I could come off of that one, but it looks like it's not permitted. Okay, so I guess it's not going to work. It's not going to work, which means that I'll have to delete this segment up here. And I will take it from this point, and from here I should be able to do it. Even though it says no, as you can see, I was able to do it. And wherever it fits will be fine. It is, yeah, so I can make a connection right there, no problem. And to guarantee that it takes that path automatically, I am going to rebuild this connection from here to here as a single lane. Unfortunately, that did not do it. Okay, there it is. So now it will use this overpass. As you can see, a train is now using it. Well, he stopped. There's a little bit of a dysfunction temporarily while it recomputes the path. But it will find the path, and it will do it properly. Okay, so that's how you do the crossovers to remove congestion and those permanent traffic jams. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.